The International Writers Association has joined millions worldwide in celebrating Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka on his 91st birthday. In a press release issued by Acting President Onadele on Friday in Ibadan, the IWA hailed Soyinka as a beacon of hope and a defender of freedom. Describing him as a pivotal figure in global literature, the association emphasized his impact on both the African and global literary and political landscapes. Nobel laureate and the first African to win the prestigious prize, Soyinka has been a towering figure in literature for over 6 decades. The IWA commended his unwavering commitment to justice, intellectual courage, and advocacy for democracy, noting that his diverse body of work, plays, essays, poetry, and novels continues to inspire generations of writers. The association urged literary organizations, schools, and cultural institutions to promote Soyinka's works, encouraging the younger generation to draw inspiration from his commitment to social justice. And for more insights on the life and accomplishments of Professor Soyinka, we'll also dissect the book The Noble Warrior. The playwright and producer of the Noble Warrior play, Onadele, joins us now. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Lagos.
Very good. Now, before we go into proper the Noble Warrior play, as it were, let's start with the accomplishment of Wole Soyinka against all odds as an individual. How would you describe it?
Prolific, poignant, and masterful.
And beyond that?
Well, beyond that, he catalogued over 68 works of essays, dramas, and poetry, and has influenced generations of playwrights. If you go distilling on the undercover, any piece of Professor I do read, I find grammatical competence, I find oversimplified modifiers or sparring modifiers. I mean, I find subtexts, I find language doing double duty, and authenticity of both subjects and outcomes.
And I already see you writing another book right here because all this play of words. Well, we know that today is the 91st birthday of the professor, Wole Soyinka.
Yeah.
Tell us what inspired you to write this book, The Noble Warrior, and of course the play.
Yeah, when Professor turned 86, a lot of activities around it were just poetry, right, and some speeches. And for those of us who study Professor Soyinka, I can say confidently that 60% of his works were written, directed, and produced drama. And I felt it definitely needed to be done in drama. So I decided to find a story that would embody his persona, right? Just like you said before in the introduction of him, bravery, someone who would oppose tyranny, someone who loved his people enough to campaign for road safety. I mean, just the man, not just for the books, but also for the people. That is what brought me to the story of Noble Warrior. Of course, I embellished it. I put a little bit of romance into it, a little bit of Yoruba mystery, because he's also a man of culture, and in fact, the pride of our culture. That's why we are actually holding the 3-day event for him. We're producing The Noble Warrior at the Global Memorial Hall. And today is the finale. So we still have the 3 p.m. and the 6 p.m. shows. We also know of his heart for children and students. And we have extended free tickets to Unilag, Unifair, and Unibadan. These were the places where he taught during his career in Nigeria. We have extended hundreds of free tickets to them on both the 3 p.m. and the 6 p.m. show.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at the play itself. Looking at the Noble Warrior production, what are the major cues or lessons for the public to learn from? What are they appreciating when looking at this, this show, as it were?
So, very briefly, what I did was I created a theme even before I started. All right. And that's not the usual pattern, but because it's a researched project that took 3.5 years, I took my time with it. I said, we are at the crossroad of the crown, the crown, the corruption in the middle, and colonizers, right? Because if you look at us, we are still under the pressure of colonialism, whether it's pre, pro, during, and post-colonialism. And we have the people we select or claim to have voted for. They wear the crown and they're supposed to serve us as a community in the center. We are the crossroad. And then there is corruption. That is why the crown and the colonizers are always in unity, because there is something for them to gain. So there is corruption. So that's the first pillar that I established, the team. And after I established the team, I thought, how do I represent Professor Wole Soyinka? Yes, I will name the protagonist Oluwole, but beyond that, what do I want this character to do? What role?
Who played that character?
Right now, I think the current person playing is a young man by the name of Yorime or something like that.
Okay.
So, and he actually played it last year. So this is his second return to it, and I think he's getting there. But the thing I wanted to quickly point out was that, how do I find someone who saved these people? And what would cause him to rise up to go and do that, even if he's a humble character, right? So I also made him a teacher, a head teacher, and then I gave him a love interest in Olasope, right? And I brought in the colonials, as they always did. They invaded their land. They mined their silver, they mined their copper. They even told them not to go into the forest anymore. It became a reserve of His Majesty in 1885, Saka. And that they cannot fell the trees to build their own houses. Yeah. And then they needed to start paying taxes. They gave the slothful king some of the taxes, settled the chiefs in council, and finally they deflowered his beloved.
Now, the play aims...
broke out.
Indeed.
So heartbreaking.
It's said that the play aims to be more than just entertainment. It aims to be educational and, of course, a tribute to Wole Soyinka. So what has been the challenges in getting to this stage?
Many. First, I had to self-fund this. And even to create any of these packages costs a whole lot. Yeah. I searched for grants and funding. The Nigerian government doesn't have one where you can openly compete for. Then also staging this event, I'm telling you, the venue is expensive. 6 weeks of 48 cast and crew in camp. They feed daily, they have accommodation. I mean, just add the numbers up. We're talking about 100 million. And we are not anywhere largely supported by any organization. It seems the CSR thing is not flowing in any particular way that favored us. So it's been a lot of personal weightlifting. But the important thing is this. I knew from last year's experience that this may not in the medium term be a profitable venture. But I still insist, and I say this as a reference each time I talk to our team, when our cause is just, noble and honorable, we cannot fear the winds, the rains, the storms, and the fires. We must just stay the course. We must stay the course. Professor Wole Soyinka's legacy, we want to celebrate before he dies. We want to come back every year to celebrate that legacy. We want to turn middle of July, into a week of festival, which we want to call the Noble Warrior Festival. I want to come back every year to do that before he transitions to the great beyond, and because all of us will do so at some point. He's 91 now, and obviously he has slowed down in riding. He doesn't ride as much, but his activism is still intact. I mean, top notch.
We must really commend you for this great body of work. Of course, a lot of Nigerians need to hear, especially this younger generation. They need to see and hear what Wole Soyinka, Professor Wole Soyinka truly represent. And of course, we hope that that happens with this work you've done. Thank you so much, Mr. Cash Onadele, playwright and also producer of the Noble Warrior play.